All right, what's going on? It's Bobby Skinner, Talking Giants, doing your Week 2 offensive line report. And the Giants are undefeated. They're undefeated. But the offensive line had some issues. That being said, we're going to do a segment on Ben Bredeson, which I thought was very encouraging. Like I wasn't expecting to do a Ben Bredeson segment, but I thought he looked pretty solid against a weaker Carolina front on the inside. Evan Neal had some of the same struggles. I'll break that down in a segment. Mark Glowinski really let me down. And then we're going to start off with Andrew Thomas. Right now he's PFF's highest graded tackle in the NFL, but it's weird that it's coming off of a week where he had some bad reps. You know, like he gave up a QB hit. He had a couple pressures. So we'll go all into it. First, we're going to go through Andrew Thomas, though. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Easy, simple. Do it. All right, first play. We're going to go through the bad plays first with Andrew Thomas. Let's get those out of our system. So set's good. Like his feet are so quick, man, when you watch him. Back quick. But it allows the guy to get in his chest and bull and use power. And just attack that inside shoulder. It's not a disaster rep or anything, but it's not a good one. You got pressure in your QB's face. I like the right foot, though, that it doesn't swing back, which we will see on the next two plays. Still just got to be quicker with the post foot, and we'll see it in these plays, too. QB hit. Daniel Jones is not used to getting hit when from the left side at least from the left tackle when Andrew Thomas is on the field. So how does it happen? Good set, obviously. And again, they're going to go to power. See how Thomas's hands are outside. The defensive lineman's got his hands inside, able to bench, uses his right hand to rip, and then watch Andrew Thomas's right foot. It goes from here back to here, which opens the gate to the quarterback. Thomas has just got to, teams are going to try and figure out how to beat Andrew Thomas. It's tough, but he's got to realize, kind of like his rookie year, got to get quicker to the post foot. Just got to keep that right foot stronger. Can't have it swing back open like that because you get QB hits that way. On this one, this is really good recovery. Like you see his athleticism show off on this, but it's the same thing with that right foot. Burns works outside in. Watch the right foot. Swings back open. Gives you a path to the quarterback. Now, again, he's an elite athlete at the left tackle spot, so he's able to recover. But you just got to get quicker to that post foot. So those were the negative plays for Thomas. There was one where he washed a guy around the edge, but that was just Glowinski getting beat. You'll see that on the Glowinski segment. Some good stuff. Reloading the hands in pass pro. Gets to a set. Bat. You see those long arms show off. D lineman tries to break the arms off. Now watch Thomas come around, reload, bam. Now you got your hands in perfect placement and almost perfect placement. You got your left hand on the breastplate, right hand on the hip. Win. Next play. Similar. Long arms. Good placement on them. Maybe punches a tad too early. Reload them. Get them inside. Good knee bend. Awesome rep. So it's just some good stuff. Thomas says he gets better and better. He's going to get better. Like that's where he needed to improve on after last year was working his hands independently. When the punch doesn't land, how to replace them. So those are the things that he's getting better at. Here on a jump set versus Brian Burns. I mean, you just see the speed coming off the line. I mean, that's They tell you, get your ass out here in a hurry. And Andrew Thomas just does just that. I mean, Brian Burns is barely out of his stance. And now we're just locking him down. Just taking the will out of Brian Burns. And then Brian Burns gets a sack. And it's like, oh, wow, Brian Burns, good sack on this play. No, he didn't do anything. Daniel Jones ran into this sack. Just locking him down. Killing the will of Brian Burns. Run a play action boot on this play. Puts the guy on the ground. I slow-mode this to see if Derek Brown trips over the legs of the tight end, Hudson. I don't see it. You see Hudson's not affected by it at all. Just punch, extend, long arm him, take his momentum, finish his ass. Gives DJ all day. So, again, I didn't want to go too crazy every week on Thomas, but I want to go through some stuff in the run game. So, he had some good run reps this week. Last year, he wasn't great in the run. Like, he wasn't a lot bad, but he wasn't great. Not as good as he was his rookie year. So, I want the Giants to run more to the left side, by the way. Run behind Thomas. But again, fires off quick. Lands the hands. Rolls the hips through. Keep your momentum going. Drive your feet. Keep driving. Keep driving. Just all one motion. Fire off punch. Roll your hips. Go. Keep the feet moving. Good rep. Here on a run out. Just widen that gap. You're the backside on this. Quick feet. Land your hands. Keep the feet driving. Quick feet. Just step, 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 step. Widening the gap. Next play on a drive block. One-on-one. When they redirect, bury their ass. Quick feet. Good knee bend. Base is getting a little skinny. But the feet land. The hips roll through. Keep your feet moving. Keep your feet driving. Keep your feet driving. D lineman sees a running back and wants to reach out to try and grab a tackle. Bury his ass. And then the last one, working a combo with Bellinger. Drive him. Hip to hip. Allows Bellinger to get onto that block and get, his hat and hand placement well. Come off to the linebacker. Stay wide. Stay low. Keep your knees bent. And drive this linebacker. Good stuff. Not to the standard that we hold Andrew Thomas at, which is basically perfect, which I love. So some bad stuff, but hey, good film to go and teach. Like, hey, make sure, be conscious of that inside move. Be conscious of that inside move. Be ready to get to that post foot. So, overall, good game from Andrew Thomas, but some reps that he needed to be better at. So let's get into Evan Neal. All right, let's talk about Evan Neal. In the pass game, he's just got some issues he's got to work through. Whether it's getting to his landmark, not opening up his hips, it's just going to make him vulnerable to inside counters and guys getting around the corner on him. Like he's just got to get that down, and with the hard work he will. In the run game, I was pretty disappointed in him because it wasn't just like, oh, rookie struggles. It's stuff he should have. But you also saw some of the good that like you see with Evan Neal, like smart picking up stunts and like, hey, when you do the right things with your feet, you're dominant because you're massive. So let's get into it with him. First play, obviously lined up at right tackle. So does this like good result on this rep? But Like quick feet, you see 1, 2. What's bad though is you gotta get that one more step in to here. But instead, it goes back here. He opens his hip. His left foot comes to his right foot. He opens his hips, and you don't want to be facing like that. Andrew Thomas, he got some help from the tight end on this play, but like you want that type of proportion with your pass rusher. You don't want this one because it's just kind of a two-way go for a pass rusher, and it gives him momentum. So, you see the long arms, you see athleticism, see the size, but Burns could inside counter and look at the feet crossing. Like, see feet click. Now watch the left foot. You never want your feet crossing up because then you're gonna get beat inside. And then Feliciano made a good play coming and helping. Next play. Again, not a bad result. It's just getting to that third step. It's like last week. 1, 2, we're great. First 2 steps are great. 1, 2. But then the third step. Bringing the right foot, pushing off of it. Now, good patient hands, with the chop from Burns. Long arms, athleticism, but just got to be better. So you say, well, those reps, he didn't lose those reps. Well, let's look at some reps where it does get him in trouble. This ends up being the sack. The feet are the exact same as the last 2 reps. And instead of Brian Burns trying to get around the corner on this, well, Brian Burns, who's a smart pass rusher, said, I see those feet come together. That's not good balance. That's not good weight weight distribution. I'm going to bring the power. Drives him back. The hands don't come. So now you're off balance. And he's able to inside counter. Again, it all starts with the feet. You'll see on another a couple plays that are positive where it's like, man, the feet just make everything happen. Next play. Now, good recovery on this. And he's got the end playing outside in. So 1, 2. So this is good feet. But he sees the inside counter, maybe a little late, but not bad. Now watch the left foot. Swings open. This was a problem Thomas had his rookie year. If you guys watch these, from 2020, this was a huge problem with Thomas. Watch this foot swing back. Like now you just gave a pass to the quarterback. Just pick up that foot. Ideally, you want it to come down, forward on a 45 angle, but that's not always the most realistic. Just pick it up and put it right here. And this is a great rep. Instead, QB gets flushed out. Here versus Brian Burns on a wide 9 technique. You see this, just the strength by him. That's a lot of momentum for Burns. So you see like the raw power that he's working with, and he's trying to get back there with his feet. I like the hands on this though. It's not the most violent punch, but the hands are where you want them. And now watch this right hand. Bring it back. Hand placement. You got your left hand a little high, but that's fine. Awesome rep. Daniel Jones runs into pressure because Mark Glowinski. But good play for Evan Neal. Now watch this versus the inside counter. This is a little better pass set. 1, 2. Now the third step is still an issue. But watch the left foot on this. Because he wants to go inside. Watch the left foot. Bam. Just quick. Short. We're here. We're not opening our hips inside. Reps done. Good punch. Try, a decent punch. I won't say a good punch. But good placement with the punch. Grossman times it up. But I'm telling you, the footwork is king. Feet make you a better pass rusher, a better pass blocker, everything. Everything happens with the feet. Here versus Derek Brown. Lock him up. Watch the left foot. 1, 2. Pick it up. Set it down. We're horizontal with the line of scrimmage. Locked him up. Good stuff. Now the run game is where I was a bit disappointed. This ends up being a 5-yard loss. And draft nuts would be like, oh, well, balance is one of his issues, which is true. But balance ain't the issue on this play. Watch his right foot, first step. That's not doing anything. You're losing ground. Now watch him. Watch how head heavy he is. Eyes facing the ground. That's easy for D lineman. That's easy work. You want your eyes going forward into the chest plate. Leaning and false step, and that all happens with the false step. You take that right foot and you just move it up forward just this much, and that stops you from leaning. Gives you better posture. But just an easy swim. And you get a 5-yard loss. 49 for the Panthers, by the way, flies around. Here again. Now the step is backwards. Step towards him. Come off a little more violence. Now, with this guy shooting and jumping inside gaps, this is Glowinski's responsibility anyways. And I like the effort to just try and get a piece of 49. But he still ends up on the ground because he's head heavy. Top heavy. Ends up being a nice play by Saquon, though. And this is on the QB sneak, so I won't hold this one against him a ton. But again, watch the first step. That should be here. That should be here. Let's see where it ends up. It's backwards. You're firing out. It's a QB sneak, so you're going to be, you can be a little head heavy on this because you know it's a QB sneak, but still. That first step's better if this isn't happening to you. And then I just wanted to show some good IQ by Evan Neal. Stunt pickup. We know that was the issue for the right side last year. Immediately notices it. Power down. Power down. Good stuff. This next play is not a stunt, but they're showing a cover zero look like, the Ravens did. He said in the Burns. Burns pops out. Immediately. Power down. And it helps that 99 contains, but it's just good IQ stuff. So he's got stuff to work on, man. It's going to be a tough matchup going against Micah Parsons this week. All right, so I want to do a segment on Ben Bredeson, and I wasn't planning on doing this, but he gave up a pressure on like the third play of the game on a stunt. But I went back and watched him, man, and he was the best interior offensive lineman, and I think just the second best offensive lineman on the Giants on Sunday after Andrew Thomas. I'm going to do a segment on Glowinski, but the pressure came from Glowinski. Feliciano was up and down, nothing horrible, nothing really good either. But Bredeson had some good pass pro reps and was solid in the run game. I'm not expecting this to continue for the rest of the season, but he played good against a front from Carolina that's not that great. Like, the best player on that front on the inside is Derek Brown. So let's get into it. First play. So let's get the bad out of the way. Obviously at left guard. And I think he should just play over Azudu for now on. Let Azudu work on his game on the bench and practice. Does a good job passing this off to Thomas, but just can't get his feet over quick enough. He's not the best athlete in the world, and that's why I think, versus a front like Carolina, he can have success. Versus a front like Tennessee, he's going to look really bad, even though it's Jeffrey Simmons makes a lot of guys look bad. But let's get into the good. And it was some smart stuff too. It's not just beating the guy in front of you. He's got this blitz look, sets towards it. He pops out to cover the running back. Power down. Allows Feliciano to come over to the blitz on Shaq Thompson. You see he sets that. That pops out. And then get some depth. And got your hands where you want them. Got good posture, good knee bend. I mean, he's got handfuls. That's clean. That's legal. Hands inside, good stuff. Next play. Again, knowing where to go. A lot of times the pressures from the Carolina offensive line was they didn't know where to go and how to adjust. So they're doing a full slide, or a 4-man slide. Picks it up. Fights to get his hands inside. Nice wide base. Good stuff. And this play doesn't, this isn't going to make the Ben Bredeson highlight reel. But it's just smart football. Like, you don't have work. A lot of guys will float right in this middle area. But just stay connected. Stay connected. Stay connected. And just eyes on Thomas. Eyes on Thomas. Like, he's not needed on this play. But hey, it gives Feliciano, like, hey, I know I got to protect to the right because I got Bredeson here. And again, just stays connected. Eyes, eyes, eyes. Good stuff. Really like that. This rep, he recovers well. Like, sets. D lineman times up his punch. But watch the feet. D lineman times up his punch, swipes his hands. Right foot. Get your feet over. And then get your hands inside. Allows DJ to slide in the pocket. Good stuff. Kill the will. Good feet. Set towards him. Hands inside. Wide base. Kill the will of the D lineman. Here versus blitz, or what looks like it's a blitz. Get hands. They're trying to get around the arches of the pocket. Finish him. I don't think. Maybe he gets tripped up, but nonetheless, finish the block. Get a little bully ball on him. And then in the run game, nice combo. No, it's not gonna blow you away, but does his job. It's a good first step. 1, 2. Good job. Keep the feet driving. Come off, patient to come off. Hands inside. Good posture. Keep the feet moving. Good stuff. Good first 2 steps. That's the posture you want. Hands inside. He redirects. Push him where his weight's going. Ends up getting rolled up a little bit. And then on this down block, opens up a hole for Saquon Barkley. Good hat placement. I mean, that's beautiful. Good job by Feliciano on this. Feliciano comes off. You've got the right angle. Keep your feet driving. Give Saquon Barkley a crease. So I wasn't expecting to do this. So good job on Bredeson. I think he should be the full-time starter until Shane Lemieux comes back. So, all right, let's finish it off, though. Let's finish it off with Mark Glowinski, some negative. The thing that worries me with Glowinski is, one, he was never a good pass blocker with Indy. He was average at best. He's known for his athleticism in the run game, but he's just got a soft shoulder. And there's definitely things he can fix, but it's kind of a worry that that's just going to be teams are attack his shoulder. So let's get into it. And Ioannidis from the Panthers, I mean, he went to this move and was successful with it 3 times. So obviously here at right guard, he just goes for this meat hook move. You see you got quick feet from Glowinski, but the hands kind of come from low instead of shooting. And you see how he just takes his right hand, gets it under him, and then just takes him for a ride. Pushes that shoulder open. Next play, same thing. Forcing Jones out of the pocket. Just kind of throws his elbow into him, gets his hand underneath there. And again, taking him for a ride. You see, he's got quick feet. Watch the feet are good. Bam, bam, bam. Good. Those are good feet. You want to get from a half-man relationship to be head up with him. This is where you want your feet. This is where you want your body. He could definitely do a better job punching on this. Just, if I'm Glowinski, I'm focusing on my punch, but I'm being ready. They're going to do this to you. Be ready to power down on this. And the next one ends up being a sack. Same thing. Sack. But you see, he's kind of giving it to him. Look at that left hand to Glowinski. It's wrapped around the back. Shoot the hands. Don't clamp. Clamp them. Shoot them. And again, at this point, it's just, hey, this guy's stronger than Mark Glowinski. Ends up being a sack. On this play, just the hands coming too wide. Allows the D lineman into his chest, where he wants to be. Able to get his hands on the breastplate of the shoulder pads and rip. You got to do a better job breaking hands off of you. Gets beat. And then this play, I don't want to harp on this too much because Glowinski is a pro, so I don't expect this type of stuff to be repeated. But just feet get stuck in the mud. These two guys are setting for it right here. There's no way they're not. The hot read, if they're going to leave someone unblocked because they have 6 for 5 blockers wise, and if Saquon goes out for a route, so if they blitz all these guys, the hot is going to be one of these two. You're not going to leave one of these 4 at the hot. And just kind of feet get stuck in the mud. Good job, Neal, helping out. Which is bad. So, anyways, hopefully he can improve as the season goes along. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please make sure to like and subscribe. We'll have a film review out later today as well. Really excited about this New York Giants 2-0 team. Definitely some stuff to clean up, especially on the offensive line. But they've got a big test next week versus Dallas. So if these guys can improve and show up in that game, that would be huge because, the Dallas front could wreck the game for the New York Giants offense. So appreciate you guys. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. See you on the next one. Let's go Big Blue.